Tēnā koutou katoa, everyone, and welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions. I'm your host, Mucky Hope, and tonight is a lovely night. It's a beautiful night. It is the dirtiest week in Australian Survivor history, and so I thought, why not have this podcast be one of the dirtiest podcasts in Mucky Hope Productions history? I'm here on my phone in a hotel, in cheeky old Brizzy, so if the quality's a bit shit, that's probably the reason why. However, something that isn't so shit, though, I am joined by a legend in this universe. People have written legends about her. She's in every fairy tale novel, with many generations to pass. Everyone's gonna know that Michelle was part of Mucky Hope Productions. Everyone, please welcome Mr. Great and Wonderful, the awesome Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. You look a bit shiny there. Is it hot up in Brisbane?
It is very hot in Brisbane, and I get sunburnt so easily. I get sunburnt in July in New Zealand. And normally our heat's around 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. So imagine being in 30 to 40 degree, 30, 40 degree heat. It's It's not fun. So I've got a lot of sunblock, quite oily skin.
Yes.
Not really a vibe.
It was hot in Sydney today. So I'm glad I've got the aircon on at the moment. Yeah.
See, I do have a really good aircon, but then I get way too cold, so I have to keep turning it on and off. Because sometimes I just get too cold, so I have to turn it off. But then I'm like, oh wait, now I'm too hot, so I have to turn it back on, and it's just a nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine. We've already got people chatting, and we didn't even start.
Comments now. I do apologize. It is a long process to do it on the phone. So if I'm very slow at reading out your comments, that's the reason why. But Bloody Money 47, welcome to the live, my man. Mucky crash out when his winner pick, Dirty Harry, got voted out. My winner pick, Brooke, is still alive. Well, I'm happy for you, Bloody Money. But yes, I was very devastated to see Dirty Harry has gone. We got one from the amazing Jenny. Jenny, welcome to the live. Sorry, Harry got voted out. Mucky, he had a tough road. I predicted Brooke to be the last returning left standing. Well, maybe. I think it's definitely between her and Simon for now. But yeah, I think definitely Brooke is, she's got a high chance of lasting very, very long. And from our good old friend Survivor Twist, I was also surprised about Harry, but now it's all about who's going to be the dirtiest. I agree, brother. Well, just before we do kick off the official recap, Michelle, let's talk about something very exciting that's happening on Monday.
Oh, yeah. Richard is putting on, well, I'm not sure exactly who's putting on. I think it's Richard mainly, though. Is putting on a watch party at a venue in Sydney with 14, I'm pretty sure there's 14 Survivor players. There's a game, there is an auction, there's a discussion, and there's a Q&A. So pretty good. I can't wait to go to that.
Yeah. And I think there's one other special thing as well. I think you forgot to mention.
Oh, they'll actually will be in the same room together at the party, so that's good. Yeah.
But
you're so much taller than me. Any photos together look really weird unless you get down low.
I'm gonna have to use your head as an armrest or something. It's
yeah.
But yes, I will be there in Sydney for the watch party alongside Michelle and 14 of the Survivor Redemption cast members as well. Whereabouts is it located again, Michelle?
It's in Sydney's east. It's in a rugby club.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's where a lot of kids play rugby, and also the East Rugby team play there, and a lot of touch rugby is played there as well.
Awesome. Well, maybe I'll have to show everyone who's the real boss when it comes to rugby. My Kiwiness is going to come out, All Blacks, I'll start doing the haka, and then away I go.
There you go. I mean, you should go one-on-one with Richard. I'm assuming he's a rugby fan.
Yeah. No, well, I did tell Tez that since he almost got drowned by Jackson, then I'll show him what it's like to really get tackled by someone. So, I won't even watch the episode.
Something. You'll break a bone. Don't do that.
Probably. I won't even watch the episode. I'll just start breaking bones, I'll start breaking everything inside, but I won't pay for it because I'll just fly off the next morning. So easy peasy, right?
No, not good. You got to be good boy. Nothing cheeky, naughty.
No chicken. Oh man, why am I even showing up, Michelle? Why am I
Oh
even
dear.
showing up then?
Oh
But
dear. I don't know.
let's get into this week's episodes, though, Michelle. We had the dirtiest move in Survivor history apparently happened this week. We're now 6 episodes and pretty much halfway through the pre-merge. How are you feeling?
Good. Look, there's some good players in there. There's also some erratic players, and there's some people who have no idea how their moves are affecting other people and how they're sabotaging themselves. So let's just see how it plays out.
Yeah, for me, this was quite an interesting week where, like, something that I'm kind of missing is like, I'm happy about this, but I'm also not happy about it at the same time, right? And it's the edit of the players, right? Obviously, we've got a few standouts, such as like Lottie, for example. Lottie's like a huge standout amongst the newbies.
Yes.
Keely and Faith are starting to get a lot of content stuff as well. However, while there's a more widespread edit, like Usher's getting confessionals, Cam's starting to get some confessionals, Jackson's getting confessionals, more people are getting confessionals, which is always nice. However, something that's been such a strong, staple hold in Australian Survivor history are these main characters, right? Like your Georges, your Shonnies, your Lukes, your Davids, your Henrys, your AKs, your Harrys, right? These larger than life characters who you're either heavily rooting for or heavily rooting against, and there's no in between, right? And I think this season is kind of missing that. There's no one who I'm like really, really rooting for in terms of like edit wise, but like there's also no one that I'm like rooting against, if that makes sense.
Definitely, there are a few people I do not want to continue on too much longer. But otherwise, let's get into the episodes because I have come into this with no notes whatsoever. So I'm relying on your notes to actually start things up in my brain. So
I only started writing notes 20 minutes.
People.
I only started writing notes like 20 minutes ago. So we're really in the deep end for this one. But just before we do actually get officially started, welcome Brendan to the live. Hi Michelle, distinguished guests, and the fine people of Brisbane and everyone else. Thank you so much, Brendan. I hope you're having a very lovely, lovely night. And Tez got a confessional. I thought he was a crew member. I mean, Paula got her first confessional, and I was like, oh, she must be going home. And then she went home. So when Tez got his first confessional, I was like, oh, he's probably going to go, right? But no, he's still in it, Michelle.
No, because he's my winner pick now. Like,
he's your winner pick?
Well, yeah, because I sort of said Harry because you guys were saying Harry, but I had Tez second. I never really thought Harry would get there, but I just put him there as a hopeful. But yeah, Tez is my winner pick now, so he's got to get upset.
Yeah, the one confessional in 2 weeks is your winner pick. But no,
did Christy have many confessionals at the beginning? I don't think she did.
That's true, she didn't, and Liz didn't have many confessionals either. So you might be onto something, Michelle. Maybe after all this, I'll be eating my words, and you'll be dancing in the glories.
Maybe.
But how I've broken this down, Michelle, is I've done it by tribe, because the first 2 episodes this week was all about the Bounty tribe, and the last episode this week was the Baron tribe. So I figured we'd focus all of our attention on the Bounty tribe first, and then we'll start talking about the Green tribe towards the end. But something very interesting to point out, though, which I think heavily factors why things happened this week on the Bounty tribe, is if we break down the alliances. So the main alliance, or what is like considered the main majority, is Usher, Cameron, and Rich and Lottie. They seem to be like a good 4, constantly moving around, and no one seems to be really targeting them. They seem to be often the swings between all the different factions. Then you've got Lyndall and Loz, where Lyndall has an idol. They're like constantly at the bottom. Then you have Harry and Paula, which at the start of the week was running everything, with Jackson kind of adjacent to them, but obviously he ends up flipping on them. And also Simon is in a very interesting spot where we actually haven't seen much screen time of him, but I've kind of figured out So obviously we've seen the last episode, he has a lot of stuff to do with Lottie, right? They're kind of like a power duo kind of thing. But Rich is always checking up on Simon as well.
Yes.
So I reckon that's kind of a three. So like I personally think the majority is actually Usher, Cam, Rich, Lottie, Simon, like as a five. And then Lyndall, Loz, Harry, Paula, Jackson are like the other five, but they're like broken up, so there's no way they could have formed a majority, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and it was a very weird vote, I would say. I feel like this whole week was just the downfall of Harry. Like the whole episode, Harry, he sniffs at something that's wrong, right? But he just can't quite figure out what is exactly happening. And because everyone's caught on to the fact that Harry threw a vote onto Loz to keep, Jackson as a number, right? But then Lottie exposes that to Jackson. Did you like this play from Lottie to try and draw Jackson away from Harry and Paula?
Yeah, Lottie's quite clever. I think she's someone to watch, and the way she maneuvers herself, but doesn't make herself look too connected to people is really clever. And I hope she goes far, actually, because she's not doing anything wrong in my eyes, and I think she places herself well in that she was with Harry really, but then Harry left, and so she's teamed up with Simon, and it's not hard for her to do that. It's not like she's had such a deep connection with an alliance that she can't suddenly go somewhere else, which is hard if you're really close to someone else and they go, and then you're trying to get into another alliance and it's impossible. She's doing that really well.
Yeah, like Lottie started off this game being like anti-returning players. She wanted Harry out from like the very first episode, right? But once Paula kind of goes, she's actually trying to save Harry a lot. I think she realizes the full potential that Harry can, bring her as like a shield and as a player. But there's a very interesting conversation that happens, Michelle, and it wasn't actually shown a lot in the edit. But Asha says to Lottie that Paula, it's Paula. Paula's trying to target Simon. And I think this is where the mistrust and sort of the breakup of Simon and Harry really is, because we see Simon, he's like wanting to chat with Harry about it, but Harry isn't really giving him anything because Harry thinks that maybe he's getting blindsided. But should Simon have like try to push harder to like call Harry out on what's happening, or do you think Simon was in the right to turn on Harry here?
I don't think he really turned on him. I think he just saw the way that the vote was going, and so he thought, I have to go with the majority, otherwise it'll be me next. So I don't think he ever really turned on Harry, and you could see that by his reaction when Harry went, and the way Usher said, "Oh, is that real?" Yeah, it's real, Usher. Like what? He's crying to be fake? Seriously? Yeah, it's real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think because.
But actually, when you play Survivor and it's like they're all bonded in trauma, and it's a huge part of their lives, and they spend so much time. And even though Harry and Simon haven't spent time together really, you understand another player and what they're feeling and how they might be taking it, and that's what Simon was doing. He just had an incredible amount of empathy. And that was what was going on there.
Yeah. And like it definitely seems like Harry and Simon were trying really hard to like avoid each other in camp, right? Which is obviously the right strategy to divide and conquer, work your way between different alliances. So I can maybe understand why Usher was like, oh, is he like really crying? Because maybe to them they just haven't seen what's it called? Yeah, Simon and Harry really interact to have that kind of friendship, but from what I understand, and definitely by what happened in the Equilibrium game, they're both like really close friends, right? And so, it was definitely quite powerful seeing that moment between Harry and Simon. But we do see that Lottie here is able to pull in Jackson, and they blindside Paula, swoop Harry and pull it right under the rug. Did you love this power play super early by Lottie and Usher?
Yes. I mean, obviously, I think I like Lottie more as a player. I think Usher's a bit more brash.
Yeah.
Not saying she's not a good player, but yeah, of course, they've got to go for the big guns at some point.
Yeah.
The fans obviously didn't want to see it. There was a lot of posts about Harry going and he shouldn't have gone, and oh no, Harry. Oh, even one person said, "I'm not watching now." I'm like, oh God, not that again. So yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah.
early. Literally, what was it? Fourth episode,
Fourth
fourth.
episode. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean it's something that I do love about this cast is that everyone is coming here to play and to play hard, and Harry and Paula were seemingly like running things as well. So I do quite like that they're like, no, we're not gonna let this be the Harry show. We're gonna take a
Mm,
massive swing for him and his closest alliance member as well.
yeah.
Did you like that they targeted Paula first before Harry, or do you reckon they should have gone
Yeah.
back to Harry?
No, no, that's fine. Do Paula first because that was his alliance member. And generally in games you go for the person who's going to help the big dog before you take
Yeah.
out the big one. Then that's happened in multitude of seasons.
Well, I don't really understand that though, because even with the other tribe, they're like, oh, we have to get rid of Caleb to weaken Mark. But if you really want to weaken Mark, if you really want to weaken Harry, just vote them out. If you still have the
But
numbers.
no, but it's not that. The big players can move people around, as we've seen with Sari many times when she's played the game. If you're a big dog and you've heard your name mentioned, you do everything in your power to turn people around. And
Yeah.
returning players and experienced players know how to do that if they're in a good spot. And that's why they take out the other one first because it's an easier play. Because if you go in and try and go for Harry, someone is bound to say to Harry, "Oh, they're going for you," and then it's all on. Whereas, is
Yeah.
anyone really going to say to Paula, "Oh, they're going for you"? I
Well,
don't
I
think
mean,
so.
like Harry's like sniffing it out, right? Harry can like see that hang on,
Mm,
things aren't working,
yeah,
right? Like something is off. And even with Mark, like I don't know if Brooke maybe told him that there was a plan to blindside Caleb, but definitely like when Brooke found out their plan was Faith, she rolled it over to Mark when Kat was throwing bombs everywhere and stuff. And so I
yeah,
feel like the big dogs and big players are always going to find out this information. So why not just
yeah,
try and go for them anyways?
because they can turn things around. A lot of the times, they have the power to be able to turn things around, and that it's just
Yeah.
scary. In a game, it's scary to go for the big people. You want to go for the easier people first, and then
Yeah.
hopefully try and get the big one out on a technicality like an idle play or or an advantage, something like that, which makes it a bit easier. Or you've got to wait till your alliance is strong and they're not going to turn.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's like, just why not go for the big players, right? Like, like you say that they can easily turn things around, but like, if it's sniping out their number one ally, how come they can't turn things around for their closest ally, but they can turn around for themselves? See,
I'm
this is
just coming
why.
from
This is why I've been the
experience.
first three.
I'm coming from experience. Have you played many online games or real life
I've
games where you have got to the final tribal?
then no.
I'm just trying to give my two bits in.
Well,
It's doggy
technically,
dog.
I did make the final tribal in equilibrium because I made it to the jury. So
That's
technically, I
not the
was there.
final tribal because you make
But
it
but,
to
but
the
technically, I
jury.
was attending the final tribal.
God, Jesus.
um, quick commentary from Brendan though: if you
Yeah.
vote out the big dog, you're not guaranteed to collect their other alliance members. Whereas if you vote out the alliance, a big dog who has more experience may see their new position. Like, and realize that they are on the bottom. And a comment
Yeah.
here from Survivor to us. Michelle, I've lost 6 times in final tribals. Very humbling.
6.
6 times.
That's
terrible of a player
you
are
were
you, Survivor
obviously
Twist? Gosh, like 6 times?
6.
6 times?
That's
You're worse than
insane.
Sean. You're worse than Amanda. Oh my gosh, 6 times. Like,
Yeah.
would you rather be runner-up 6 times or the first boot 6 times? You know, I'd probably
Oh
take being the
God,
first boot.
I'd rather be runner-up 6 times in the first boot.
Well, because if your first boot 6 times, you're clearly like, too massive of a player, too big of a threat to be kept around. So that's why they're going to nick you out first, But
No, because if you're a
runners up
massive
6
player,
times.
you generally aren't going out first boot. You're not. You're not. Unless
I'm trying to think of massive players that have been the
Dave
first
from the
boot.
US who went out on our first. Was it Russell? Was he first boot or second?
He was second boot.
Yeah, there you go. First
But
out in his
I like to think of him as first boot though. That's where I
But
personally
he's
like.
he's first boot in his tribe, and
Twice. First
Sure,
boot
sure.
in the tribe twice. So, yeah. No, but what was I going to say? Let's quickly bring it
Survivor
back.
Twist. At least he made it there. It's so hard to get to final tribal. Yes.
Well, I feel like it's actually even harder to be the first boot 6 times though. Like you really have to mess up to have it 6 times in a row. You get what I mean?
Don't talk to anybody.
That's the reason to be first boot. There's reason to be first boot. You can talk too much, that's first boot. You're playing too hard, that's first boot. You're not doing anything at all, that's first boot. You're starting arguments with everyone, that's first boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brendan's comment.
Francisqua is the go to first boots. Where's Francisqua for Australia vs. the world? Francisqua for the first 2-time first boot, represented the US and Australia vs. the world too. But anyways, let's bring it back to Australian Survivor though. So Usher actually found an advantage in her chocolate cake, which actually just before I talk about that, something really funny I really wanted to point out is that in that challenge, like the tug of war, but you got like through the thing, and Cam was like, nah, I don't need to wear my sunglasses, not sunglasses, like his glasses.
Yeah.
And he misses every single shot.
Unbelievable. But you know what's good? You know what? They've actually let them start wearing glasses because Flick in the second season, first, she wasn't allowed to wear glasses. So a lot of the time she couldn't see what she was doing and she was squinting. And every time you see her squinting, it's because she's trying to look into the distance and work out what something is.
Yeah.
Crazy. But at least they're allowed to wear it now, as Miles did like for a whole season.
Yeah. I mean, I would have preferred if they stayed blind, because then we get great moments like this where Cam misses every single sandbag into the thing. And then, what was I going to say? Obviously the Bounty Tribe, they win the chocolate reward, but as Rich puts it, the cake looks like it's been cut up by a divorce lawyer. There's some in large chunks, some in very skinny chunks, but there's a twist, Michelle, where not every person on the tribe will get a slice of chocolate cake. Yeah. Did you like this twist?
I did. How would you have done it?
Oh, I would have just eaten the whole thing, probably.
That's not what you had to do. Well, how would you have done it?
How would I have delegated out like the cake slices?
Yes.
Oh gosh. Like, it really depends, like, where I am in the tribe. Like, if I'm on the bottom, I'm giving everyone a slice of cake. If I'm like Rich, where I'm like in the majority of lines, I'm not running things, but I'm like, somewhat up there. Yeah, I think definitely give all like the big guys the the largest pieces of cake, right? But
really?
Also, but again, now that I think about it,
listening to this, he's giving the guys the cake because they're bigger. Yeah. Are you kidding? Who likes cake more? Women like cake more. What?
Like, do you love cake? Michelle, do you love cake? What's your favorite cake?
Chocolate cake.
Oh, dang. I was hoping you'd say any other cake. I would have been like, see, you wouldn't have even liked the cake. But no, you've just ruined
I like any cake. Any cake. You feed me cake. I love cake. How
Okay,
I would have done it. My
Mm-hmm.
people not in my alliance would have got the bigger slices.
Mm-hmm.
The people in my alliance would have got the mediums, whatever, and I would have taken none.
Yeah. And assuming I don't know this info, I'd tell everyone to line up in birthday order and give the cake on that basis. Ooh.
Ooh, or you could do
Yeah.
alphabetical, Brendan, like the voter did on that season of Survivor, who didn't know who to vote for. They just did alphabetical. So that would
Wasn't
be a
that the
good
very
idea.
first season?
Huh?
Wasn't that Survivor Borneo with Greg?
Yes. Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. Look at me.
Richard.
I'm a Survivor expert right here, you know. I know all the bits and bobs of
Very good.
Survivor history. But Usher finds that there's a scroll in her cake
Yes.
though. And it is a brand new advantage as well, Michelle, where so basically she has to play to David after the immunity challenge, and she gets to swap anyone on her tribe with anyone from the other tribe. And it's weird. It's kind of like a safety without power, without power thing. So pretty much you just swap with someone on the other tribe, and that person will got a tribal in your stead, and they are completely immune. So they can vote for whoever they want, and they're completely immune. And yeah, what did you think? Oh, and it has to be used in the next 3 tribals as well. So it had to be used this week. What did you think of the brand new advantage?
I would have only used it if in desperate measures, because
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to shake things up for no reason. It's good if you're on the bottom. What I really liked is actually the season 50 advantage, which was you have an idol, but you have to give it to someone in the other tribe,
Oh, isn't
and
that
then
the
if
Billy
they go
Eyes
out,
boomerang idol?
it's the boomerang, and if they go out, it comes back to you. I love that. Love that idea.
Mm. You know, when I first thought of the boomerang idol, my sort of idea was like you play it on someone, right? And if they get majority of the votes negated, you're also protected as well. So it's like you throw the idol, has to be played on someone else, right? Can't be played on you, has to be played on someone else. Play it on someone else, so you're throwing the boomerang, throwing the idol, and if they get majority of the votes and are safe, you are safe as well.
Interesting.
That's what I thought it was going to be, but you know, not everyone is as creative and as genius as I am, Michelle. You know,
True.
But yeah, what did you think of the way that Usher used this as well?
What did she do with it again? I can't remember.
So basically, she used it the very next episode. So pretty much, Harry is down in the dumps. He's going to go full chaotic. Oh, what's this? My wife just walked in. Always had a haircut. Looks much better. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I'm not sure really how to take that. Like, was my previous haircut so shit, Michelle?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
When did you have a haircut?
Like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Wasn't that long
it's
ago?
better. I do like it shorter. Yes.
You don't like it when it's like a bit longer, like a mullet kind of thing,
No,
or when it's
I
like a
do
mop
not
and
like.
it's down here.
Do not like mullets. No. I can't even remember what we were talking about the use of the idol. We
Oh yeah,
got
that's
off
right.
track.
Yeah. And no, I'm not hydrated. Like, I don't think I've actually had a glass of water since being here. Like, my rubbish bin is just filled with milk cartons. Honestly, it is. It's pretty diabolical. But yeah. Anyway, so the way that Usher used his advantage, right?
Yes. Sorry.
So Harry's only chance is that he's convinced Lottie that she needs to keep some of like the bigger names and the bigger players around, right? And players who are willing to fight for their position and fight for their
Oh yeah, I
allies.
remember. Sorry, yes, I remember.
And so
Sorry.
Harry and Lottie's plan is that okay, either Loz or Lyndall need to go out. So Usher saves Loz and replaces her with Caleb.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, could it have gone any crazier than how it did? I mean, Caleb went back to his tribe and self-imploded, basically. Like, my gosh, said things he
Yeah.
shouldn't have said. Woke up the next morning like he'd been out drinking and did things, and like
Yeah.
he was
He was in
regretting
like a
anything.
whole like he was in a whole like wave of regret. It was like, oh, I shouldn't have said this. Oh, I shouldn't have
Yeah.
done that. It's literally like waking up after a night out. Oh, I shouldn't have said that message.
Yes.
I shouldn't have done this.
Like saying, yes, I've got rid of a returning player. Who's next? And I'm like, well, put the mark in front of you. Are you insane?
Yeah. But hey, like some people can just play that off, right? And like Luke is obviously able to play off this very like cheeky kind of attitude towards people where he shouts, "Oi, how do you spell Henry?" At tribal, and maybe Caleb is just one of those people. Let's not forget the greatest
I
video.
don't think Mark and Brooke are forgetting that anytime soon.
Probably not, no. But let's not forget that Caleb is such a mad dog. He's a truck driver, right? But he also has a YouTube channel where he has flown fighter jets, driven in a tank, and pissed on an electric fence.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
yeah.
He's
able to get away with anything, that man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but can I just say that I actually did really like this move here from Usher, right? Because we see that how she's, she really wants Harry gone, right? And
yeah.
The problem is that Lottie doesn't want Harry gone, right? And I think Usher, something isn't shown in the edit, right? But I reckon Usher is 100% like, no, we have to get rid of him. So how do I get rid of Harry, right? I reckon there's some sort of secret scene or secret conversation where Lottie's brought up this target, Lyndall or Loz. Loz is obviously, love Loz a bit, my fellow Kiwi, but she looks like she might be the weakest tribe member, and so obviously you can push that argument, oh, tribe strength, but I reckon Usher's gone, you know what, I'm going to save Loz here because it'll be harder to convince people to vote out Lyndall because of her challenge prowess than it will be to vote out Loz. So I think that's Usher's mind the whole time is how can I make sure that Harry stays the number one target?
Yeah, exactly. And who told Lyndall that she was on the bottom?
Oh my gosh, yes. I wrote that in my notes and I realized I just talked past it. So basically, Lottie is like, hey, just let you know, Harry and Paula are after you, but I'm here trying to save you. And she's like, well, I don't want to be the split. And Lottie's like, no, you're not the split. We are saving you. You'll be fine. And she's like, well, no, I just don't want to be the split.
Again, seriously, she does not like it. She doesn't want people telling her she's on the bottom. Like, get a grip, girl. You're on the bottom. If you're on the bottom, do something about it. Don't tell people you don't like that. Or, I mean, it's insane.
Well, Lottie has got some kind of magic because Eliza tells her she's on the bottom and they need to work together. She votes out Eliza. Harry tells her, hey, you're actually going to be the majority vote. Let's work together. Lyndall votes out Harry.
Yeah.
So, Lottie's got some kind of secret potion, secret sauce that's helping her stay in the game. A comment here from Survivor Twists. I got to say, the way Lottie was basically the only one to want Harry in the end after every confessional of hers was anti-Harry. Yeah, I love character development. She really came full circle. She understood that you got to keep like the big dogs, the big players in the game. But Michelle, if things were looking bad for Harry, it's about to get a lot worse. So after Loz is saved and is then swapped with Caleb, there's a surprise individual immunity challenge when you got to stand on pegs and balance a ball. And, part of Harry's redemption, the first time he played, he lost in the peg challenge. The second time he played, he also lost in the exact same peg challenge. And he is here once again and has lost in another peg challenge to Lyndall.
Yes, and we got Lyndall's infamous line, people don't know how long, really, that I stand in heels during the day. But it's not just about that. It's about being able to balance the ball as well. So she was good at both. It wasn't just the standing on pegs thing. You've also got to be good at balancing and not let it move. And she was good at keeping it still. I mean, those challenges are awful. I hate them because I want to move when that ball's moving and you can't move. And I'd probably be third out, second.
Yeah.
Just,
Well,
yeah,
I mean, everyone was dropping like flies, in that challenge. It makes me think, oh my gosh, once we get to the individual game, Brooke's probably going to win every challenge. It's just everyone's just dropping out, just like that. It's like in Australia versus the World. Remember how all the Aussies dropped before any of the world members, dropped on like the box and feet challenge, and even Luke was like, "We are pretty cooked once it gets to merge." So, and Harry is in the top two though. It's between him and Lyndall, and I was like, there is a chance that maybe Harry wins this, but then it's showing like Harry's struggling and Lyndall's fine. I was like, no, he's done. And so we lose Harry there. And the whole talk at Camp Michelle is just, it's either going to be Harry or Jackson. And, Harry gives a speech and stuff. Jackson's trying to give a speech, but no one's really listening. And this is where we get the big moment where Harry, he's starting to think pretty dirty. The evilness is getting into his head. He's hearing the drums of tribal, and he steals the flint.
Very good. It would be helpful if his partner in crime went along with him, but that backfired, didn't it?
Yeah, it did backfire pretty heavily. But did you like what Harry was trying to do here by saying, hey, you loved it?
Why not? Why not give it a go? I mean, it gives you one more night or however many nights before the next tribal, or if they go to the next tribal. I mean, it gives you more time to get to a tribe swap if there is one. Everyone's saying there is one. Get you to tribe swap and you might be then safe. So, do what you can. Go leave with the flint. It was fun.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed it. And I think for Harry, it was, it's the last opportunity, he really had, right? He can't lie about an idol or advantage or anything. But I feel like there was so much we missed from the scramble, though. Because it seems like going into tribal that the vote, like Harry knew that he was very cooked if this didn't work out. And even as the votes played out, it was pretty unanimous, right? But I do agree here with Survivor Twister, Michelle. Why do you think Harry let Jackson hold on to the flint?
I have no idea. Stupidity. He shouldn't have given it to Jackson. He's the one in more danger. He's the one that thought up the idea of doing it. He should have kept it. Would it have worked otherwise? I think there would have been more chance of people not voting for either of them if they knew they wanted to had it.
Yeah. The only issue is that Harry was trying to push Rich, but as I sort of broke down in the alliance chart, even though we haven't seen many confessionals of people being like, oh, Rich is here in the majority with us, he seems to be voting with them every single tribal, in a lot of like the group chats, it's always kind of them four, so I don't think Rich was ever going to be going home here. I think maybe if he tried a Simon, maybe that would have worked because Simon's not like in the majority, he's another returning player, so that might have worked. But otherwise, like with Loz gone, with Lyndall being immune, like Harry was done.
Yeah, I think it probably could have been Loz if they could turn that around and if Caleb wasn't doing what he did.
Well, no, because Loz wasn't at the tribal; she was at the other camp.
Oh, sorry. So it couldn't have been Loz.
No,
well, I don't know who it could have been then.
Lyndall had individual immunity.
Yeah.
So basically, just going back, let me just bring back up the notes. So basically, Usher, Cam, Rich, Lottie are together. Then you've got Loz out of the game, Lyndall immune, and you've also got Simon. So pretty much the only main options who could have been voted out that night was going to be Simon, Jackson, and Harry.
Yeah. And it wouldn't have been Lottie.
No. I don't see
oh,
Lottie.
it would have been a scramble. It would have been a scramble at Tribal if Caleb hadn't done what he did.
How funny was that though when Caleb was like, Harry, why do you deserve your $500,000 more than me? Simon has a car. He's got a car, Michelle. He doesn't deserve to win. All right.
Oh
Like I like to walk everywhere personally. I don't drive around a lot, so I can kind of relate to that. Vote out with people.
But why did he even say that? It's not as though Harry said anything about that to him or anybody else. Like, why would you? And even Harry said, I don't think that at all. Like, it was a weird thing to come out with.
Yeah. And even Simon's like, bro, I've been like an underdog in my last 2 seasons, and Caleb's like, nah, he's not an underdog. We're an underdog and stuff. He was really letting loose. I think if Caleb, I don't know what tribe he's going to be on during the swap, but if he's ever in the minority and the bounty tribe are in the majority, I think he'll be pretty cooked.
Because he's too much of a loose cannon. You can't trust
100%.
What's going to happen. It will come out of his mouth. I'd get rid of him straight away.
Yeah. However, we've got the jaw-dropping moment though, when Jackson, he starts talking about the plan and stuff, but then he tells the tribe that he's not going to blackmail the tribe and make them starve. So he hands the flint over to Simon.
Crazy.
And this was advertised as the dirtiest move in Australian Survivor history. Do you agree that this is the most dirtiest move?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
I don't know. I think Samantha voting out Jesse was pretty bad. Oh, but there's probably more of a betrayal. It's probably more of a betrayal than like a dirty move, because I don't think she orchestrated the vote. She just took his idol and gapped, But yeah, this was definitely one-on-one on how to dob in an ally. That's for sure.
Definitely. Spider Twist asked a question here. I don't always think he ends up alone. I was thinking he was with Simon, under the radar with Simon. I don't think he's alone. I thought he was strong with Lottie and definitely with Simon on the down low.
Yeah. Well, because Lottie is trying to save Harry here and is trying to tell people to vote for Jackson. I can probably see Simon trying to do that as well. But obviously, you don't want to push too hard because then, you're putting yourself out there. But I think coming into Tribal, just with how little scrambling or talk there was about, should it be Jackson, should it be Harry, and pretty much just the main unanimous vote, I think Harry was done for either way.
Yeah. I think Harry's such a big character. And I think, and you can see that from even his first season, that he puts himself on a pedestal and other people find it hard to see themselves as an equal with him in an alliance. And I think, and I can see that just looking at how he plays the game. I think people always see him as a bit above the others.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I see that. Yeah.
Thanks. What I was going to say is you nailed it. Honestly, you really did. I think that's a very fair and accurate assessment of Harry. Like, I think Harry is definitely a good strategist. I think he is a good a good player and a good character. But I think when it comes to let's rally all these votes together, I think he's always really struggled at that. We've seen players like David and Luke, for example, just whip out numbers out of nowhere to make a move happen. But I think Harry, I think that's one of his weaknesses. I think he's really great playing from the bottom, but I think he struggles playing from the top, if that makes sense. Yeah. But I will admit something though, Michelle. I was a little bit satisfied, if I'm being perfectly honest. Sucks that Harry's gone. Love Harry. I think he's one of the greats. He was obviously our winner pick. Super devo to see him go this early. However, when we did Equilibrium, he was very open about targeting the podcasters. We don't want the podcasters here, Michelle. And on the round when I was voted out, I was in a room with him and Ryan B. Brink. And I said, all right, guys, so what's the plan? And Harry said, well, I'm voting out a podcaster. And for that round, Shannon was immune. So it's just Ryan and I. And I was like, oh, shit, well, who you
And he's
you
already
going for?
talking to Ryan,
Yeah.
so you're gone.
Yeah. Harry told me to my face that he was going for me.
There you
And
go.
so I felt a little bit happy, a little bit satisfied when when just like me, I saw the writing on the wall and Harry saw the writing on the wall. But
There's a bit more at stake on the TV
yeah,
show of Australian Survivor rather than Equilibrium game.
100%. But
I know.
yeah,
I
really
know.
sad to have Harry go here, and it definitely seems like in his final words that maybe this is the last we ever see of Harry.
Man, it does actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, we've had people back 4 times. I mean, what is this? Series 5th, 6th? What's going on over there with that one? I don't know. But
it's
yeah.
his third time playing.
Mm.
Yeah, no,
It's
but
really an hour. I thought I'd keep you on track, but we're not. What's
don't
happening
worry,
here?
I'm all done with the purple tribe. Don't worry, we've only
Okay.
got the green tribe left. I don't have too many notes on the green
Ah,
tribe, so don't worry. But yeah, but I guess any final thoughts on Harry? Like, would you like to see him have a fourth go, Australia versus the World
look,
2, or like his name change?
I'd like to see it if yeah, Australia versus the world. I'd love that because that's different. It's not
Yeah,
just him returning to the same sort of Aussie sort of format. Yeah, I'd love that.
yeah. And I think it would be really good in Australia versus the world. I think he's been in the running for a lot of seasons as well. I think it was in the running for Heroes versus Villains. I think it was in the running for Australia versus the world as well. But obviously, there were more larger characters to kind of chuck on those seasons. So to see him finally come back and to see him fall really short, it's quite sad. But yeah, I personally hope we get to see Harry again in another season. But anyways, it's almost been an hour and we haven't even started talking about the Green Tribe. So
I know.
let me run it down for you, Michelle. So the
Yeah,
Green
go.
Tribe, pretty much, long story short, Mark versus Johnson. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
I'll catch you next week. No,
Right. Okay. Bye.
yeah. Yeah. Pretty much the summary. No, so we have Mark versus Johnson here, and I'll quickly
Yes.
run through down the alliance chart. So
Okay.
we've got Mark's main alliance, or what he thinks is his alliance, right? So we've got Mark, obviously. We've got
Yeah.
Brooke, Don, Caleb, Faith, and Keely. Now, what I find interesting is that this majority is kind of split up into groups. So Mark and Brooke as a pair. Then we have Mark, Don, and Caleb as kind of like the Cornship Cartel alliance. And then we kind of have Mark, Faith, Keely, and Brooke as well as like a four. So there's many different sub kind of tractions in this alliance. And then I don't really know where to put them. We've got Sally and Tez. That's kind of in the middle of the two. And then we have Johnson, Ben, and Blanche sort of on the bottom. And
Blanche was with a group, though.
Who's the group?
Blanche was with a group. I can't remember.
I think it's with Johnson.
This is
I'm
why
pretty
I
sure
need to
she's with Johnson. Yeah, you do, because my notes aren't too reliable.
No, I need notes.
So
I also need to be able to chat at the same time. It's so hard. Oh God.
No, but just really quick, let's welcome Char Dude real quick. Hello, Char Dude. Hope you're doing really well, brother. If I scroll down here real quick. Sorry, I've been absent. I've just started college, so I've been very busy, but so happy to be here. Well, congratulations on starting college, Char Dude. Hopefully that's going really, really well for you, man. Make sure you study hard and drink hard as well. It's college, man. You got to get on the piss, Michelle. You got to get on the piss and study at the same time. That's how I passed film school.
Right.
Yeah. With an A+, by the way. That was my final grade of film school. With an A+, yeah.
Wow.
And now I'm here podcasting about Survivor. So clearly
I
that really worked out for
what
me.
happened?
God, my career is really booming at the moment. But yeah, it's all quite interesting. So we'll start off, like, for me personally, this was the funniest moment of the week,
Yes.
Michelle, where Don reveals to Mark that he's actually Matt Rogers' brother. And Mark's like, oh my gosh, you know, this is like important information and stuff. Don's really trusting in me. Like, I have Don. This is great. And then I'm pretty sure it's like the start of the next episode. He's like, all right, everyone, I've got something to tell you. I'm Matt Rogers'.
And Mark's looking at him like, what the hell? This is supposed to be a secret. And I don't know why he wanted to say it. Why?
Yeah.
Does he think he's going to garner more respect, or people want to take him into an alliance just because you're related to someone? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Maybe that was his thought process.
Well, I'd love to hear from you, Michelle. If you're playing with someone who is related to like a very famous, like a good Survivor player, are you worried about that person or no?
No.
I'm not either.
Because the person will play how they play, how, you know, what their thoughts are. They're not the exact same person. Maybe if they were identical twins, because a lot of identical twins think, speak, act the exact same way, maybe I'd be worried then. But then I'd be worried that they were the actual person. I wouldn't know them if they'd been placed there. So
yeah,
it wouldn't affect me.
Is Andy and Kate from Blood vs. Water, were they twins?
I don't think so.
Because I remember the reason why they were targeting Kate was literally because they're like, oh, she's Andy's brother. And we all know what Andy plays like, you know, can we really trust Kate? And I was like, no, why are you targeting Kate like this? Like, there's no, I mean, she seemed like a way better player than Andy in just, what, the 2 episodes she was in. But, like, yeah, not everyone plays the exact same way. You know, like, Michelle, you and I chat, you know, every week. But I'm sure if we were to ever actually play a game, we'd play 2 completely different games. My sister and I would play completely different games. You know, my cousins and I would play completely different games, right? And so...
They're not twins. Yeah. There you go. I just
not twins. Okay. So while you don't have your notes, your stalking capabilities are still...
it's spot on. Spot
on. See, I can't do any stalking because last time I did a podcast on my phone, Michelle, was the first recap of The Amazing Race. And do you remember what happened?
You were drinking milk, weren't you?
I was drinking milk. However, I went to go leave because my audio was a bit crap, and instead I just ended the podcast.
Yeah. Ended the entire podcast halfway through. Yeah, that was fun.
So I'm not even going to touch anything on my phone until we are all good to go and leave at the end of the day. However, so that was really funny with Don. And interesting observation I've sort of made about Mark Michelle. He is playing a lot like Boston Rob. And I want you to hear me out, all right? So Mark is putting himself in the hero role of every single challenge. He wants to be the one that gets all the glory or to get all the blame, right? So he's doing all that. And he seems very open about being the tribe leader. He's like playing really upfront. Like even when he finds out from Caleb that Johnson's kind of throwing his name around, he goes straight to Johnson. Oh, yeah, you've been saying my name.
Straight away.
You've got to earn my trust, Johnson. You know, and it's like very like confrontational, like very similar to Boston Rob. And what do you think about Mark's gameplay this season so far?
He's very confident. I'm scared for him. I think he's going to be targeted because of his confidence. I think the way Simon and Brooke are playing it down, trying to be as quiet, meek, mild as possible, I think that's doing them lots of favors. But Mark he seems to be okay so far anyway. But let's see if he goes next week. And then we'll know that Harry and Mark's brash sort of gameplay didn't work as a returnee.
Yeah, well, it's so interesting with Mark because have you noticed that a lot of the social media stuff from the Australian Survivor, like page on Instagram is very positive on Mark?
Well, he's
He's in
playing a
like,
good game.
he's in every single like reel and promo. They did something where they're kind of like mimicking Married at First Sight, and they made it about like Mark, right? Where it's like, you know, red flags, but here's all the green flags. It was just Mark listing
Yes.
alliances and stuff, you know, and
Yeah.
he's everywhere, you know. And
Mm.
at the start of the podcast, I was saying that how with this season we don't have too many like main character kind of like energies and stuff, you know, these larger than life people that we're rooting for or rooting against. The only two people that sort of come close is Mark and Lottie. But obviously, with the previous edits of players, it's either very much like a rooting for edit or a rooting against edit. But I don't know with Mark if if the edit's trying to make us root for him or root against him.
I don't think it's against, because it's all been very positive.
Yeah.
I think it's been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a couple of edits that might want you to root against them, but I don't think a lot of people are noticing that sort of stuff because, I mean, like the two girls who were sitting on the beach who called Tez a weasel. Do the editors want us to go against them, or do they think that's good because they're thinking up, you know, a way to vote somebody out? But personally, myself, I didn't like that scene at all. I hated that scene.
Well, I mean, we can quickly talk about it. So Faith and Keely, right? They are like, nah, we're kind of done with the Mark show, so we're going to try and weaken Mark. And, you know, as I said, I've listed out the alliance. It's Mark, Brooke, Don, Caleb, Faith, and Keely, right? And with kind of Sally and Tez sort of in the middle. And they're like, you know what? We want to weaken Mark. So how do we weaken Mark? We take out Tez. It's like, Tez? Since when was Tez with Mark? You know?
Exactly.
Like, there's been nothing to kind of show that.
Exactly. He's not even on the radar with Mark, like at the close radar. And he hasn't done anything wrong in a way that to be called a weasel. Like a weasel is someone who sneaks in, does things surreptitiously, and then gets out of there. And I felt really against this line of them calling him a weasel. And you know, I even said it on the group. That was just not on. Not on. Yes, Tez, it was not on.
Literally came in at the right time.
And
yes.
Yeah, like seriously, it was wrong. People have been intimating that they're mean girls. I'm not going to say that, but I just said what someone else said. But that was just below the belt. Sorry, call your whatever you want to call your take on trying to get someone out. Call it something different than actually calling someone a name. Like, sorry.
Well, I mean, we've got like
schoolyard stuff. Stop it.
Yeah, we've got like Nick the Snake, right? And obviously that's like the big thing about Nick, especially going into All Stars, is that he's the original Snake, even though he only said one lie. It's like, oh my gosh, he's this bloody lying, deceitful person. And then you've got like George the Cockroach, you've got like Harry the Cockroach as well. It's like, oh, we're trying to blaze stomp on the cockroach and stuff. So with these titles, I feel like
Harry, but the cockroach thing is okay because in that they keep surviving and he kept surviving. So it wasn't as though they were calling him that for some awful, dirty sort of reason. He just kept surviving. And so it was more a when you call someone a cockroach for that reason, it's not totally mean. It's a bit of a compliment in some way in that they keep getting out of things and keep surviving. But that comment was just uncalled for and I didn't like it.
It's an interesting strategy, though, and it's something that we have kind of seen on the traders, actually, where it's kind of like a pile on, right? When a couple of people are having a go at a certain person on the round table, everyone else will kind of like join in and just start piling in. And I feel like with these like nickname titles like Snake and Weasel, it's kind of a way of making a us versus them kind of thing. Like, oh, we just have to get rid of that bloody weasel. We have to get rid of that stupid snake. Like, you get what I mean? Like, it's I think it's used for people in alliances to really make them really anti one person. If that kind of
Not
makes sense.
necessary. Not necessary. I know what you're trying to say, but don't call people names. Call it something else. Like I love the whatever corn chip alliance, even though they haven't even had corn chips. I don't think. Like what was that
Yeah,
about?
if a Mark's like, why is it called corn chip? I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, it's totally random. But call it something else. Don't degrade someone else for your own benefit. It's not even a benefit. It's just silly.
Yeah. And as Ted says here, it was nasty. And he says to just keep on watching. Hashtag just keep on watching, baby. Just keep watching. We'll have to wait and see what happens, especially if hopefully there's something juicy on Monday, Michelle. Can you just imagine if it's just like a super boring episode? How funny would that be?
Imagine if someone in that room does something bad and I boo them. Can we boo them together?
Well, what I'll do is I'll be like, yes,
them for.
I'll be like, yes, let's start to boo them. We'll call them out by their name, but I'll just let you do it, so then you take all the blame.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay, because if people are mean, I'm going to boo them. I'm just going to boo them. I don't care. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, and I'll just be like, everyone, that was Michelle. That was Michelle that just made that.
So here we go, Mucky. So you'll vote me out of a game. You'll leave me in the lurch in something like this. I'm getting a vibe here.
Well, to be honest, I would just vote you out. Even if it completely destroys my game, I would vote you out just for saying that I voted you out. And that's something I'll be able to hold over your head for so long.
That to me?
Yeah, but how many of those people are from New Zealand, Michelle? How many of those people wear a Chewbacca jumper every day for like 8 years? You know? There's only one muckalicious hope here, and this muckalicious hope will take you down, Michelle.
Did you just call yourself muckalicious?
You're goddamn right.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Yeah, as Tiz says here, it gets very juicy. Just like on this podcast, it does get very, very juicy. But let's go back to the episode, Michelle. I want to quickly talk about one player who you've been running deep down into the mud. You know, you were saying that she's going to be the first boo. You want her to get voted out. But let me tell you, we are on the winner's arc for Sally. All right?
No,
and it has been there.
She's doing well.
Since the very start. She's in the best position in that tribe, Michelle. The best position. And let me tell she's in the best position. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay? Let me break it down. First of all, she was originally in an alliance with Johnson and Ben, right? That was kind of floated out like, oh, we got to split between Johnson and Sally because, like, you know, them and Ben are like a tight trio, right? But when Kat starts throwing out the bombs, Sally jumps ship. She jumps ship. She leaves Johnson. She knows that's like a sinking train, sinking ship, whatever. And she votes for Johnson, right? Sinking train. I just have weird shit that comes out of my mouth sometimes, Michelle. Anyway, she leaves the sinking train and she joins Kat to vote for Johnson, right? And then while you could be like, oh, you know, she voted incorrectly, she's not part of Mark's alliance, she's on the bottom, Keely and Faith are coming up to her, and Sally is the one to mention Caleb. We got to go for Caleb. So Sally is obviously like the voice in this alliance. She's, you know, she's got something with Tez. She's trying to rope in Tez, right? And she's just right bang on the center of the tribe. No one's looking at her. No one is targeting her. You know, if anyone finds out about this plan, obviously, you know, with Brooke, she finds out. Is Brooke going to tell Mark that Sally was after Caleb? No. She's going to say, hey, Faith and Keely, we're going to flip on us. And Mark's going to go for Faith and Keely. Sally's in the prime position, right? No one's going to target her, Michelle. She's going into the swap with probably the best connections on the tribe with Ben, with Tez, with Faith, with Keely. Like, she's going to win it all, Michelle.
have you finished? Okay, so
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny for the sake of useless, who, thought Sally, Faith, Keely should just all go straight away. I thought it was hilarious when they were together. But I do think Sally's doing a good job, and she's doing a lot better than I thought she would. But I still don't think she's a winner, but I think she's doing a lot better than first boot, obviously, that I thought. Yeah.
I do love this character journey you're going on, Michelle. Maybe it's because Sally's coming to the Sydney event. That's why you're trying to be a little bit nicer to Sally.
I wasn't being mean to her. I was just saying I thought she first booed. I know, maybe that's not nice to be thought of, but I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just taking it on her little interview and the blurb that was about her. So I don't know. I mean, I'm no Nostradamus. I don't know exactly how it all plays out, as you know. I just have a vague idea.
Gotta say, I've got no idea what that word means, by the way. Nostradamus. What is Nostradamus? God. I actually don't know what it means.
Google when it's
I won't go on Google.
I'm going to write the word in
because
your chat.
I'll accidentally in the stream. Wait, Nostradamus, how do you spell it? Nos, N-O-S.
Don't do it now. D-A-M-U-S. Why are you doing it now?
Oh, I literally just wrote down Nostradamus.
I don't even know what
you Nostradamus.
N-O-S.
Yeah.
T-R-A.
Yeah.
D-A. M-U-S.
M-U-S. I was close. I was actually pretty close. I'm pretty proud of myself. I got everything right except for the M-U-S at the very end. And coming here from Tiz, me and Sally are staying together in Sydney. Oh my gosh, cute. Love that. My two favourites together. So anyways, Sally's in the best position. She's going to win the season, Michelle. I just know it.
All right, let's continue on.
Let's continue on. So Keely and Faith have this plan to blindside Caleb, right? Sally, she brings in Tiz. And what's really funny is that the biggest part about this plan is that Mark doesn't know. They don't want Mark to know. And I think Sally probably forgot to tell Tiz that Mark doesn't know, because Tiz goes up to Mark.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey man, I've heard a couple extra names. And Mark's like, there's no names, it's just Johnson. He's like, oh. Yeah.
No.
And Mark's like, have you heard any names? I'm not going to say yes, but I'm not going to say no. Maybe not. It's just so good.
I know.
So funny. And in the moments I noticed, I started backtracking.
God.
So bad. But one moment that really icked me though, Michelle. You say that for Keely and Faith, calling Tiz a weasel, was an ick for you. What's the ick for me was they told Johnson, right, that that the plan is Caleb, but we're not going to tell Mark. Now, something about Johnson that we haven't really spoken about, he's trying to actually work with Mark in this episode as well, trying to do like a David Matt Rogers kind of thing, but Mark was never really into that, right? And so he's obviously trying to keep that relationship with Mark alive, but they're saying that he's not allowed to talk or strategize with anyone else, though.
Yeah.
He just has to hear the name and just sit down. And Johnson's like, well, no, I want to get reassurance on this. So he pulls Faith aside, and Faith literally threatens him that if he keeps on like trying to strat chat and talk and stuff, then she'll scorch him alive at Tribal Council.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What is that?
And it's like they're treating him like shit, basically. He's the one on the bottom. He's the most nervous. He doesn't think this plan is going through. You should be trying to reassure him, nah, it's actually going to work. But instead, all they do is just keep on threatening him.
I know.
Yeah.
And some people don't respond well to threats. And
I don't think anyone responds well to threats. If you're like, nah, you're not allowed to talk to anyone. Michelle, you're not allowed to talk to anyone. You just have to sit down, shut up, and just vote the name that we're going to tell you. It's hours until Tribal Council. Just sit down and don't say a word. Do not even speak to another person.
How suspicious would that be?
It's so suspicious.
Well, everyone would think he's pulling a Raymond. He may as well lie down under a tree and pretend to be sick. Like, he can't talk to anybody.
Can you imagine if Johnson started doing that? Mark would have been like, I've been here before. So it would have been...
Yeah.
He started.
It'd be even better if it was the same tree.
Yeah. He would have had like the Vietnam flashbacks, you know,
God.
like everything would be black and white. He sees Valeria getting voted out. It's like, no, change your plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get to tribal and
Oh no! What's Survivor Twist talking about? I haven't talked to him since the first day. What are you talking about? What? Why did that come up?
I don't even know. Have we even talked about David yet?
No.
I don't even know. Wow.
I
mean, if you have been chatting to David every day, Michelle, you know, just saying, we could probably use an extra co-host. So
it says 1 week ago, 26th of Feb. That's it. I haven't spoken since then.
So what you're saying is that you chat him on a weekly basis?
No, no. I chatted to him consistently for about...
You chatted to him consistently?
10 days, and then that was it.
So what you're saying is that you've been chatting to him consistently, and it's been a week since you've been chatting to him consistently. How often was this consistently? Was this every day, every hour, every 5 minutes?
No, he would think I'm some sort of stalking weird person. It wasn't every hour. It might have been once a day.
And Tez says, I think he's single.
Tez, I want to be on The Amazing Race. I don't want Survivor until I've done Amazing Race.
Michelle's trying to secure a spot for the next season.
17. Oh no, it was every day or every second day. It was okay. It wasn't every day even.
It wasn't every day. So what you're saying is that you texted him consistently, not every day, but every other day, and then just magically just stopped?
Yeah.
It
was 8 times on one day, but that was the day I was trying to find the buff.
8 times on one day?
Because I was trying to find the buff.
8 times on one day?
He replied each time. Oh my God. Stop.
I've got my tinfoil hat on right now. That's where the conspiracy... This is the conspiracy hat, the tinfoil hat theory. Right? Jesus, you know, Michelle, he loaned her money.
For what? I don't want money. If he could get me on the Amazing Race, I'd be talking to him about that. But no, I don't want money. I want the race.
Oh, is that why you came with David? You want to be on the Amazing Race with him? There we go. It all makes sense now.
No. I don't know whether he'd be any good at it. What do you mean you think he's single, Tez? Isn't he married?
I thought he was married too with kids.
I thought he's got kids from a couple of families, I thought. Anyway, this has gone right off track.
Yeah. Well, as I said, this would be a very naughty podcast, and we've gone off track so many times. So let's actually talk about tribal council. So there must have been some kind of conversation, Michelle, where they would have just pulled the plug on the plan, because when the votes are coming out, it's 4 votes on Don, and the rest are on Johnson.
Yeah, of course we don't see it.
Yeah.
Because we don't see that. They want the edit to think, oh, they're going to do that, and then we get to tribal and they don't do that at all, because plans change really quickly. And everyone is up in the air thinking, well, what happened and how did that go down? And we never really know unless you talk to any of the players.
Well, once again, with my tinfoil hat theory, is it going to balance my head?
No. I'm sure there's tinfoil in the actual apartment somewhere.
There's actually nothing here. I went through so many drawers are like empty, and all the shampoo and conditioner was only like half full as well.
Well,
oh gosh! But anyways, I have a tinfoil hat theory, right? So,
Here we
we
go.
we spoke about it last week, right? That I
Yeah.
think Mark needs Brooke more than Brooke needs Mark, right? And we kind of spoke about how I think
Yeah.
Mark is playing a very similar role to Boston Rob, and I think Brooke wants to keep Mark around because he's taking all the arrows, right? Like no one's even going to look at Brooke. Everyone's just been looking at Mark constantly because of the way he's playing, right? I think um, Brooke has actually saved Mark here, right? Because I think if Caleb was to go, Mark would probably freak out a little bit and start doing crazy shit, which probably would have made everyone turn on him, right? Very similar to when Viola got blindsided. He was like, "No, I'm going to go for Caroline. I'm going to play my idol. I'm going to bring all these rebels together and stuff." So I think Brooke, by heavily pushing against the idea with Kaylee, not Kaylee, with Kelly and Faith on taking out Caleb and flashing her idol at Tribal Council, I wonder if that maybe spooked any possibility of voting for Caleb, or if there was a chat just before they went into Tribal where they're like, "Nah, we're just going to pull the plug."
Yeah. I mean, we'll never know. I do think Mark needs Brooke more than Brooke needs Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Basically because I think Mark's a bigger target than Brooke. I think Brooke's the target. If she gets past merge, Brooke's the target then because she'll be good at the individual immunity challenges. But at the moment, Mark's dangerous. And Brooke's she's laying low.
She's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think her and Simon are doing a great job. I did think Simon was playing the best of the returnee games, but when I started actually writing down notes, actually Brooke is probably playing the best game out of all the returnees. So I forgot who said it earlier. If I just quickly scroll up, I think it was Jenny, was it? No, it was Bloody Money. Bloody Money says that that Brooke is his winner pick, and Jenny says that she predicts Brooke to be the last returnee standing, and I do actually agree because I think, unlike Simon, just from what the editor's showing, Simon has got Lottie and maybe Rich, and that's kind of it. Whereas I think Brooke is very much insulated within the tribe and has so many different connections. With everyone to the point where she knows about the Faith potential blindside, and she also knows about the potential blindside on Caleb, right? So I think Brooke has got her hands in so many different cookie jars. But we lose Johnson here, Michelle.
Yeah. I knew he was going to go early. I mean, seriously, he's too loud for Survivor. And I said that to him, and he didn't really answer. I said, "How are you going to go? Because I saw you with your brother, and it's not the same game, and you can't be loud." And he just didn't answer really. And then he said, "Oh, I'll be okay."
Yeah, and apparently Johnson going killed Tez. Apparently it was very heartbreaking when Johnson left. Yeah, I like Johnson. I haven't seen him on Big Brother, so I don't have much to go off, but he was trying to play the game hard, and I will always respect players who play the game hard and go out early than those who don't even play at all, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was quite sad to lose Johnson and Harry back to back as well, especially Michelle when we've got Tribe Swap next week.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, this gonna be Monday's episode.
It could be. Let's watch
I think it
the
is.
proverbial hit the fan. See what happens.
Exactly. Yeah. Just gonna get a pile of shit, put it in a sock, swing it up, and let it catch onto a fan, and out the window it goes.
Oh my gosh! You're now reminding me of Christian on Survivor 50.
Oh, I recently saw that before we went live. Actually, yeah, the whole like shitting his pants.
Oh my God! Like seriously.
Yeah,
And it was hilarious how he talked about it. Absolutely hilarious. Anyway, come
on. One last thing I wanted to talk about, Michelle. We didn't have a non-elimination this week.
Yes, that's good.
Every single season of Australian Survivor, I think, except for Champions vs Contenders 2, there was yes. Every single season except for Champions vs Contenders 2 and Season 2. Yes. So those were the only two seasons. Season 2, Season 4 are the only seasons in Australian Survivor that does not have a non-elimination in week 2.
Really?
So it's 4 to 6, yeah. And normally it's like you vote someone up to go to the other tribe. That's normally the twist we have. Any potential chance that maybe we don't have any non-elims this season? Because obviously with a brand new, head of production, new host, new theme idea, just one-word themes, new type of gameplay.
Well, it makes the game. It makes the game go quicker, and it's not stretched out, which would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Keep costs down.
And once again, this also proves that Australian Survivor is not rigged, because if there was going to be non-elimination, they would have for sure saved Harry here.
Yes.
For sure. But and Survivor Twist says, I smell a triple elim and redemption reflections.
Triple elim. That means we need 3 tribes. 3 tribes. Redemption
just one tribe. You lose the challenge, you vote out 3 people. The 3 people with the highest number of votes gets into Redemption Reef.
Right. And the 3 people go out on the reef, and the 2 that don't get eaten get to come back in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's kind of the end of the recap, though. Michelle, any final thoughts on this week before we wrap things up?
No, I think that was it. The challenges. How good are all the challenges?
The challenges are so great.
Different. I love them.
Yeah.
Really
100%.
great.
And I will admit, I still haven't seen season 50 yet, so I can't talk about the challenges on that. But
there was a new one. There was a new one in 50.
There was a new one? Okay, that's good. But one of my main problems, or another problem, I have so many problems with the new era, Michelle, but one of my biggest problems is that all the challenges were pretty much the exact same. Some kind of like obstacle course and puzzle, right?
Yeah.
But it's always the same kind of shape, same kind of thing, same kind of puzzles. But this season, we've seen so many different kind of puzzles. We've seen so many different kinds of like challenges and stuff, and I think all of them are great. And how funny has Don been when he's like, "Oh, I should have been the one throwing the ball because this is how you throw the ball and stuff," and I should have been the one doing this, doing that, and stuff.
I did think of you during one of the challenges. I thought of you. Do you remember the promo for Australian Survivor where you had to put the ball up the wall, and there was the holes in the wall? And I thought of you and thought of the video you posted a little while ago. That's a hard challenge.
Yeah, and what I loved about that is that you could see it was neck to neck. There was like a wide shot. Obviously, sometimes in Australian Survivor, they try and make things look closer than what they actually are. But no, like they were literally neck and neck with each other. It was pretty great. And and I love the challenge as well. It was I think this was maybe in the first week when Lyndall and Brooks swapped idols, but the one where you had to like swing the heavy ball. And you have to knock out the targets and stuff in a row. I loved that. Yes,
it's such precision needed in the time that you let go of that rope. I loved it.
Yeah, and if you missed your shot as well, the pure agony of like having to like it looks heavy.
Yes.
Yeah. I would love to give it on a go. And this season is making me look fat. I mean, this Australian Survivor in a nutshell. I reckon Australian Survivor will probably show you how weak and fat you actually are. Once you start doing some of the challenges, And Tez says, give us an endurance challenge. No, Tez. No. We need the big, beefy guys to start tackling each other, all right? That's what I pay to see.
Tez, just stay out of the way. It's dangerous in there.
Once you get more than one confessional, Tez, then I'll start listening to you, all right? But for now, I'll just stay.
But even Blanche, I wouldn't want to be up against Blanche. Give me any of the others, but not Blanche. Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez. She's my height, or she's maybe a bit taller than me. I don't know. We both had heels on. But oh my God, she's built. She'd take me out. I'd be on the floor. Just gone.
I reckon I can easily take on Simon, take on Ben, in any challenge. Easily. I think
you
I
could
can
take on
absolutely destroy
Simon.
them.
You're huge.
Yeah. And I think I can take on Mr. Ben as well.
Ben looks as tall as
Easy.
you.
Nah,
I don't know.
no one's as tall as me, Michelle. If you're taller than me, you're not from Earth, all right? You're from some other dimension, some other planet. No, it's not accepted. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, though, smash that subscribe button. Subscribe for Cheeky Naughty Times. Michelle, what have you been up to this week? What's something cheeky and or naughty that you've done?
Wow. I have done really not boring things, but things that are so far the other side of the radar that there's nothing going on. Nothing going on. Like, I listen to people talk at a breakfast. I listen to people talk at a meeting after work. I listen to people talk basically all week. And I just didn't. Yeah.
And you've listened to my voice messages throughout this week as well?
Yeah, sadly, I've had to listen to the voice messages.
Sadly, they were great content. What are you talking about?
Such good, especially you singing during that concert you went to. That singing was on point. Like,
so good. I am a confident, terrible singer, and I'm always proud of that. I do always apologize in advance. I always do strike up a chat with everyone around me. I'm like, hey guys, just to let you know. Just listen, if you're gonna be recording or anything, it's probably gonna get ruined, all right? You know, like it's no, but with me, I'm having a great time in Brisbane. I'm currently in Brisbane at the moment, so I came in to see Linkin Park. Saw them last night, my favorite rock band of all time. I caught up with my mother from a different universe, Hurricane Kelly, and her sister. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. And on Sunday, I'll be meeting up with Simon, which should be a lot of fun. And on Monday, we've got the watch party together. Michelle, are you excited to see me? It's almost
very excited.
It's almost been a year.
I know. I know. It'll be good.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. So, yeah, if you're in Sydney or you're like, whatever, I just want to go on a holiday, come to Sydney Monday night at the rugby club. Michelle, myself, and 14 other Australian Survivor guests from this current season will all be there. It should be a hoot of a time.
Yeah, and I've heard there's, I don't know exactly how many. I think there's over 100, maybe more than that. I don't know if Tez is still here. There were quite a few tickets sold.
There's like 100 tickets.
Tez, is he still there? I don't know.
Come on, Tez. The one time we need to. All right, Tez.
150 plus, yes. Okay, because I was plugging it on the group and people were plugging it. I saw Lyndall plugging it today. So I think, like a lot more were bought in the last week.
How am I supposed to find you guys? You guys are going to have to find me because there's no way I'm seeing.
I'm sorry. You are taller than anyone else in the room, for one thing.
Yeah,
and we'll be able to see you.
But all you guys look the same. You're bloody like kneecap height. You're bloody. Right. You guys are more like hobbits and Kiwis.
Tez, can you hide me from Mucky, please, please?
Actually, it was so funny. I was telling Sally that I was going to be coming to the watch party, and she was like, "How am I going to find you?" She didn't know what I looked like, Michelle. And yeah, part of my plan was, maybe I'll just, mysteriously at the end of the night, I'll be like, oh, I'm Mucky, by the way. But no, she found out what I looked like, sadly. And when I get the mic, if I spot you, I'll make a live announcement and stop the show. Oh, thank you, Tez. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, I owed Tez a pizza, actually. When we met up last year, he gave me a free pizza.
Oh.
Yeah.
You'll have to buy him a drink because I think there's nibbles already at the party. We get something.
All right, Tez. I'll shout you a drink as repayment for the pizza because that pizza was very bloody delicious. But yeah, we've gone so far off topic so many times on this podcast. But yeah.
I know. Let's end it.
let's end it. Well, yeah, if you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. We've gained 15 subscribers, I believe, Michelle, since the season has started. So
Wow.
that's a pretty good number. You know, make sure you follow us on Instagram. And if you like the thumbnail, check out Survivor Twist. He's done such a great job making all these amazing thumbnails, including one of Michelle and I happily walking to a watch party together, which was just so, so adorable. If I knew how to bring it up, I would, but I'm afraid I'll just accidentally end the live stream. So I'll have to bring it up next week.
Do not touch the live stream.
I will not
touch
on
the live stream. Where is it? Where am I?
It should be on Facebook. I also posted on Instagram.
I know. Sorry. It's because we changed the picture today. So, also the buff. The buff sold for just over 300. So that's
congratulations to whoever got the buff.
Bit exciting. Someone got the buff. I have to go onto eBay and actually have a look at what's going on there. Who got it? But mind you, I never know who gets these things because they don't have their real name there, and it's a bit sad.
Oh.
Yeah. I can't find the picture now. I don't
know. But we'll just have to show it next week. Well, if you really desperately want to see the photo, check us out on Mucky Hope Productions on Instagram, or check out Michelle's recent post in the Australian Survivor fans group. I've been your host, Mucky Hope Kakachanor, and I'll catch you all next Monday at the watch party. Take it easy, guys. Ciao.
Bye.